I've endured bully. I've endured threats. Whatever he's doing on social media now is nothing compared to what I went through. This is not to paint him bad. He took me to court, came online to tell the public that I took him to court.
Earlier this year, the Nigerian gospel singer and her former boss found themselves at the center of a heated controversy. Eezee Conceptz, Mercy Chinwo's former boss, accused her of dragging him to court over allegations of money laundering and fraud.
Generally, if you study the ecosystem of the industry, you would always find cases where after a few years, when the talents, or some talents, not all, of course, I choose to make exception because of course I've encountered Minister Eze and a couple of others. When they found some level of expression, they tend to forget the journey, what they had agreed to, what they had signed to, how they started, and normally that sense of greed, you hear things like, oh, you've been using me, you want to keep using me, and I say, you used the label first because the label started investing money in you at the beginning.
This explosive claim has sparked endless speculation online, leaving fans divided and eager for the truth. Well, Mercy Chinwo has decided it's time to break the silence. In a bold move, she released a public video addressing the real issues between her and Eezee Conceptz, setting the record straight once and for all. But before we dive into a depth analysis, let's take a moment to watch the video and hear our side of the story. Stay tuned as I unpack every detail after this.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Mercy Chinwo Blessed. First, I want to say thanks to every one of you for your immense love and support. I never believed the day would come where I would sit here to share my story. For the sake of the body of Christ, I thought to bring some clarity to a lot of misleading news out there online about the Mercy Chinwo brand. A man said I sued him, came online, made videos to tarnish my image. He looked at me and said, I made you who you are and I will destroy you. I became scared of my life. It got to a point where I had to move from Lagos to Port Harcourt because this man made the environment toxic for me. I've endured bully. I've endured threats. Whatever he's doing on social media now is nothing compared to what I went through. This is not to paint him bad. He took me to court, came online to tell the public that I took him to court. Here are the documents. You took myself and Minister Judike to court, and you're here playing the victim game. You bullied me, you threatened my life, you said you made me who I am and that you would destroy me when you were the same person. How many lawyers have you changed now? Because you said you're going to deal with me, you have connections, you have money. What did I do? What have I done to you? I took you as a father. I was once your backup singer. I served you diligently. We signed a management contract in 2017. As we progressed, you tried to convince me to sign a 12-year contract, which I said no. Since then, you started acting funny, always toxic because I did not extend the contract. Immediately after my contract, I discovered you forged a new contract. Please tell the world what happened to the 2017 and the 2019 contract. You seized my royalties for 2 years. You're a bully. You're an oppressor. One of my major crimes was when I did a song with Pastor Nathaniel Bassey. Because this man hates Pastor Nathaniel Bassey, you went as far as sponsoring fake news about an innocent child, my son, and you said my son was not my son. And you paid bloggers because you hate Pastor Jerry Eze. You won't want me to go for his events. The people you fight, I must fight them with you. And when I asked you questions, why don't you like them? You start harassing me because he had threatened me countlessly. You said you made me who I am and you have the power to destroy me. You are not God and you cannot destroy me. You have bloggers. I have God. The worst you can do is what you are doing. Like I said, what I went through working with you is nothing compared to what you are doing. You have bloggers. I have God, and I know that God will not let your plan come to pass, for his thoughts for me, they are of good and not of evil.
Wow, Mercy Chinwo did not hold back. From her heartfelt revelation, it is clear that she has endured a lot. According to Mercy, her former boss Eezee has been oppressing her for years, which even forced her to relocate to Lagos. But what's even more shocking is her claim that he paid bloggers to spread rumors about her child resembling Nathaniel Bassey. This raised serious allegations of infidelity and questions about her faithfulness in marriage. A heavy blow for someone of Mercy's stature, in the gospel music scene. She also opened up about how Eezee allegedly prevented her from collaborating with Pastor Jerry Eze, a move that left many fans disappointed. There is clearly a lot to unpack here, but to get the full picture, we need to hear the other side of the story. Let's now listen to Eezee Conceptz and see how he responds to these accusations. Stay tuned as I will provide detailed analysis afterward.
It has always been my desire to protect Christian creatives. Unfortunately, the ones you laid your life for said your blood stained their white shirts. But then everybody won't be crazy. There will be one or two. And even if all we did is do this for the love of this to set apart, there's a track record. Every success you see of Eezee Global is a result of pain, scar. We carried it and we're going. Part of the motivation was so that there will be hope for the ones coming. Just like you are now, they don't know you. Somebody now comes to take a risk on you and it becomes the investor who hates you. Them that love you better, why are they not spending the money? How can the only person at risk is the investor? Even you as the artist, you're not at risk. Because it's your talent, you can always sing. The only person who is losing something in the ecosystem is the investor. And they say it's the person that is your problem. Are you not aware that if I don't take good care of you and you don't do well, I won't get my returns? It is an agenda to destroy the financial growth that should happen within our ecosystem. And if it affects the system, it will affect every other person that finds expression. From graphic designer, to musician, to A&R, to manager. Because the way it works, when you invest the money into developing the artist, every other cameraman will go hold camera if you don't put money to shoot video for the artist. So other creatives begin to find expression. It will kill that ecosystem and you won't thrive. In fact, I run away from people when I realize that they have known me and they're using it against me, so I stay away from you. Just because the system wants to discredit a man. They want to discredit something is working. The only thing I'm gaining with doing this is that there's continuity of this knowledge. Let's know what and who our true enemies are. There has to be continuity.
Okay, so one of the things that we have been privy to, this is not strictly about, this is not just for the gospel generally. If you study the ecosystem of the industry, you would always find cases where after a few years, when the talents, or some talents, not all, of course, I choose to make exception because of course I've encountered Minister Eze and a couple of others. When they found some level of expression, they tend to forget the journey, what they had agreed to, what they had signed to, how they started, and normally that sense of greed. You hear things like, "Oh, you've been using me, you want to keep using me," and I say, you used the label first because the label started investing money in you at the beginning, and at that time, from the beginning, you were not bringing proceeds. Now, the only reason you can be used is because you're useful. It's a case of two parties, maximizing their values. You use me, I use you. We mutually bring value, and we benefit from the proceeds of that value we brought together. But it's been the case. This is not privy to me or my experience. I can name them. There are a couple of them out there from history. You find issues, label and artist issues or contractual breach. Some would refuse to keep to whatever has been agreed to. Some claim, I'm not getting, I want more. Sometimes it's as a result of greed. Sometimes several things just lead to it. And yeah, it happens, but what do? We would not, for the sake of, God had angels in heaven. Some decided to rebel. Right in heaven. I usually say, how did pride get into Lucifer? Heaven is referred to as a place that is holy and of no sin. How did pride get into the heart of Lucifer? Let's go further. What did Lucifer convince the angels who rebelled against God, to join him? So you would always find the Lucifers in that ecosystem. You always find the rebels in that system. That's not to say there are not some that are good. Just the same way, you'd also find some labels that are also not fantastic. They do not keep to their own path. One of the things I like to make reference to on us is that when we identify talents, we make a lot of efforts in developing their craft. You can see this by going to their success story from what they were 2-3 years before they identified with the label. I don't know if you understand. If you check Minister Eze 5 years before Eezee Conceptz, you see 5 years before and 5 years after. There's a growth. It means that we've put in some level of work. whilst we appreciate the talents of the artist, we all know that talent is not enough. Music costs money. If you didn't need a label, you wouldn't have been excited to take the car they give to you, the house they buy for you. The money is going into quality production. Production is expensive. Promotion is expensive. And these things cost money. So you can't say, someone spends all of these monies and then they shouldn't have expectation, if you know what I mean. So I think that there should be proper, I don't know how that solution would happen, if it will ever happen, between the labels and the artists, for them to sit down and come to a common ground where the labels, play their own parts of the bargain as agreed, same as the artists playing their own parts. That's the only way we can have a successful ecosystem. How do I mean? That ecosystem is structured for interdependence, not independence. The artist will not succeed without some level of financing. The label will also not succeed without an artist. So we both need ourselves, and it's important that we all start receiving sense to do what is right. Else it will be affecting the growth of the ecosystem.
Looking at this situation from both sides, one thing is clear. Eezee Conceptz and Mercy Chinwo once shared a remarkable relationship built on mutual trust and shared success. But as fame and popularity entered the picture, cracks began to form, leading to this unfortunate fallout. Both parties, in my opinion, should seek peace. Fighting and causing more hurt in the name of justice only brings more pain and division. As believers, we are called to walk in the way of peace, reconciliation, and forgiveness, not conflict. My prayer is that God gives them the grace to work things out, mend broken bridges, and restore what was once a beautiful partnership. Now over to you. What are your thoughts on Mercy Chinwo's response to our former boss? Do you think this issue could have been handled differently? Share your thoughts on the comment section below. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button to access our future videos. Like and share this video for more persons to view it. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.